No nudity. That was her only stipulation. She took a bit of convincing, I'm told. May Williams was born Mary Tohran on the 15th of September 1936 in Coote Hall, County Roscommon, between Carrick-on-Shannon and Boyle. I was corrected when I referred to it as a town. It was a small village, I was told. 2 grocery and bars, another bar, and 1 more small shop. For all this metropolis they had 3 guards patrolling the place, for what May could not comprehend. Bicycle light and dog licence crime, she thought. That was the height of it. She hesitated then, but reminded herself that they'd hardly still be alive to hear her gentle slight. Her schooling was 100,000% different to mine, she said. It was a 2-room school, where the children exchanged piles of turf for their learning. They brought bottles of milk or tea with them that they heated round the fire, unless, of course, your timing was off and you were the victim of the ping of a cracked vessel. Everything was learned by heart. Reams of poetry and times tables, so indelibly planted in the minds of the tots that on this day, at the age of 84, she promised me a recitation at the end of our chat. I'll save that. May attended vocational school in Carrick-on-Shannon, where she learned shorthand typewriting that would lead her to a job in Longford County Council, no doubt taking up the spot of the most recently married retiree. She shared a room with a fellow working woman and marvelled at her landlady's ability to care for 4 school-going children at the same time as feeding the 7 adults in her charge in her small 3-bedroom terraced house. How did she do it? Having crossed paths at their respective Legion of Mary Presidia, May and Joe's romance was officialised at a dance. Within 4 years they would be married, and soon after, living with Joe's mother, Granny Williams, in the house on Dublin Street where May still resides today. They worked at it, these 2 mothers, this shared living situation, but as May's own mother used to say, it takes 2 to make a quarrel, and these women did not. The joy of her children having their granny under the same roof, her leaving a bar of chocolate or half an orange for them on the windowsill at night, and the convenience of being able to leave a toddler at home with Granny for the school run never escaped May. Granny Williams attended football matches and feshes and scolded her son for being too hard on the kids, a solid ally for the next generation.
My mother used to say, it takes 2 to make a quarrel. And another one saying was, 1 word borrows another. You know, if you say something and I'll answer back, and then it's an argument.
Yeah.
So, let it go.
That's a very good bit of advice.
Becoming involved with the local credit union brought with it not only a sense of purpose, but also a new social outlet. The giant AGMs that moved around the country and included supportive spouses brought together delegates from the over 300 branches around the country. May is still passionate about the opportunities the credit unions afforded regular people. The chance to purchase that bicycle or that communion dress without having to set up a bill in a new shop. Opportunities that the banks of the time weren't interested in providing. It gave them status, she says. They had a choice. May is not a woman to mourn the past, and is reluctant to give advice on an unknown future. She cherishes her own memories, but hopes and is confident that her grandchildren will be more than capable of creating their own, in a very different world to the one she grew up in. Everything in its own time, she says.
As Mammy would say long ago, we leave them to God.
That's lovely.
They'll be minded.
Before I left her, I did manage to elicit some advice for new parents, because some things never change. Sleepless nights will come to an end. I assured her that there would be plenty of people very happy to hear that. She promised us a poem, and she did not disappoint.
Okay, May, you're going to tell me the story of the
The
poem?
story of it is set in way back in old Ireland, and it's an old priest who was very tired, and he was called out on another sick call, and he fell asleep. And when he woke up, he flew out to the man, and you know it from the rest of the thing. The old priest Peter Gilligan was weary night and day, for half his flock were in their beds, or under green sods lay. Once while he nodded in his chair, at the mock hour of eve, another poor man sent for him, and he began to grieve. I have no rest, nor joy, nor peace, for people die and die. Then after cried he, God forgive, my body spake, not I. He knelt, and leaning on a chair, he prayed and fell asleep. And the mock hour went from the fields, and the stars began to peep. They slowly into millions grew, and leaves shook in the wind, and God covered the world with shade, and whispered to mankind. Upon the time of sparrow chirp, when the moths came once more, the old priest Peter Gilligan stood upright on the floor. Mavrone, the man has died while I slept on a chair. He roused his horse out of his sleep and rode with little care. He rode now as he never rode, through rocky road and fen. The sick man's wife opened the door. Father, you've come again. And is the poor man dead? He cried. He died an hour ago. The old priest, Peter Gilligan, in grief swayed to and fro. When you had left, he turned and died as merry as a bird. The old priest, Peter Gilligan, he knelt him at that word. He who has made the night of stars, for souls who tire and bleed, sent one of his great angels down to help me in my need. He who is wrapped in purple robes with planets in his care, hath pity on the least of things, asleep upon a chair.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I can't believe you can remember that from all that time ago. It's incredible.
No, a load of them. No, not a load of them. A few of them.
Thank you so
much. When
much.
I start saying, they say, shut up, Mum.
Well, now it's on record.